YouTubers. Um, you know, I ask people who say they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton. Um, what did Hillary Clinton do, or what has he done? What has Hillary Clinton done? Let's just put it this way: what has Hillary Clinton ever touched that worked out right? And I posted that several times. One guy goes, "Oh, she helped out on cause for donation or something stupid, nothing to do with the United States." So now my question is, since people are going to come up with silly stuff like that, what has Hillary Clinton ever done out of the 8 years she was in the White House as the First Lady to Bill Clinton, and before that she was in government as Bill Clinton as the governor of Arkansas. But so she's been in government for a long time. Hillary Clinton has, and she was Secretary of State. I don't know what for 8 years, and she was held another government office for I don't know how many years, 8 years probably. Okay, so she's been in government so long, and she knows so much about the government. What has Hillary Clinton? That's my question. What has Hillary Clinton ever touched that did something good for the United States? Everything that she has touched or tried to do, everything that Hillary Clinton has touched or tried to do, either went to hell or cost us money or someone got killed, like Benghazi, like that guy, the head guy in Benghazi, when her emails were on an unsecured server. The people found out where he was in the confidential emails to hide his location, and that's how Benghazi got killed, because of Hillary Clinton's negligence or really bad handling of confidential information. And even Comey, the director or the head of FBI, the speaker for the FBI, said how guilty she was, but then he says, this is the head of FBI saying, but we're not going to pursue it. We have all the evidence, and she is guilty of everything, and at least she looks like she's guilty. But we're going to just, not do anything. So that's why my other video on here, my YouTube video, I say, here's Donald Trump. He's accepting the nomination for the President of the United States. I, Donald Trump, accept the nomination as President for 2016. Oh, by the way, I think his name is James Comey, head of FBI. You're fired. For being as dumb as Hillary. Dumber than Hillary. But, that's, I just wonder how much, because see what happened is Bill was on the plane. Bill Clinton, her husband, former President of the United States, he was on the plane and had the FBI guy that were handling the case come up and see him. And he talked to him for around an hour, I guess. And I just wonder how much money changed hands, because then Hillary Clinton went in and talked to the FBI after Bill did in the plane. So I just wonder how much money passed hands to get Comey to not pursue any charges against Hillary Clinton, even though she was guilty, as Comey said. But then he says she's not that smart. Hillary Clinton's not that smart, so it's best just to not just overlook, the death of the Bosnia guy, the head Bosnia guy, the death of that because of her emails and how she handled it. It's best just to ignore that and ignore all the other confidential information and the lies that Hillary Clinton has been proven that she's a liar on almost everything she said. She's as bad as Bill Clinton as a liar. She's lied under oath. She's lied under, this time it wasn't under oath though, but uh, she's lied under oath, and so was Bill Clinton. That was one of the impeachments of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was fully impeached on 2 counts, lying under oath and the Lewinsky case, improper sexual conduct in the White House. He's known as the second president of the United States to be impeached. Bill Clinton was fully impeached. So, there ain't nobody in the right mind that would vote for Hillary. So what they're really doing is they're voting for Bill Clinton. And Hillary has stated in one of her videos that, yeah, if that's his thing, you know, one of the people said, are you going to have Bill do the economy? And he said, well, if that's one of the things that Bill does, like she don't even know. She's going, well, you know how she's always going like this? She's always going like that every time she's talking. She's going. That's what she does. You watch any of her videos, it's funny. But, and she never says anything exactly what she's going to do. She's very vague, and you have no idea what Hillary Clinton's going to do. I've seen several of her videos. I watched all her victory videos on the primaries, and she says absolutely nothing, and you have no idea what this woman's going to do. But we know what she's done in the past is she's done nothing for the United States. Out of 8 years at the White House, out of the time that she spent with Bill when he was governor of Arkansas, the time that she spent as Secretary of State, 8 years Secretary of State, all she did is ball everything up there, and the time she spent in another government office, there is nothing that Hillary Clinton has touched or done that helped the United States. It's always hindered it. It always costs a lot of money, and people get killed. The last major one was Benghazi. She got that guy killed, like I said, because she, with the way she handles classified information, everybody can go see the classified information. They call it a flower on the internet. That means it's like a bunch of bees that if they know anything about hacking at all, they will get the information, and that's how the Benghazi guy got killed. Through her bad handling of confidential information emails on a private server. That right there is like she's got so many felonies. Acts that she did would be a felony. If I did that, I'd be in prison. I would never see daylight again. All I want to know is this video is about. All I want to know is just one thing. Just one thing that Hillary Clinton has ever done for the United States that turned out right. That's all I want to know. Just one thing. Just one thing. So that's it. You know what? You know what? You ain't gonna be able to come up with nothing, because I went through video after video on YouTube, and all this is bad. It's everything bad about the Clintons. Period. So I always say, yeah, you're voting for billary, with a B, billary. You're not voting for Hillary. Anybody in their right mind would not vote for Hillary. And like Comey said, even the head of the FBI guy, he said she's not smart enough to try. That's the reason why we're not trying her. He said he was guilty. She was guilty of everything that was charged. She was guilty. And then he says, oh, but she's not smart enough. I would say competent. She's not competent to be tried. And someone's voting for president? You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. Come on. All I want you to do is leave down in my comments on this video. Leave down in comments just one thing that Hillary Clinton did. Just one. Okay, now let's talk about Trump. See what he did. No, let's see. What did Trump do? Man, I'd have to make this video too long. But not the fact that he owns a jet that's better than the president's jet. Not the fact that he owns a $3 million helicopter. not the fact that he owns seven seven high rises in New York City alone, not the fact that he owns 16 professional golf courses, not the fact that he deals outside the United States all the time with all these different countries and knows the head people by name. He knows the head people by name. He's done it all the time for his business. He's got to buy TVs. He's got to buy, whatever. He's got to buy whatever he needs. He buys out of the United States. Why? Because of the Obama, because of the Bush, because of the Clintons, because of all the previous presidents, from FDR, which is back in 1920 or 30, around there, from FDR to now, our economy is so shot, it's not even funny. That's why Donald Trump buys everything outside the United States. He couldn't afford to stay, worth $12 billion if he bought everything in the United States. Now, when Trump becomes president, all that will change. That because he states on all his videos, just watch any of his videos, I don't care which one, watch any of his videos, and he's telling you exactly what he's going to do to get our economy straight. And Obama, now, after he gets out of office, he can't do it now because he's not out of office, but Obama will be known as the worst president of the United States of America. He will be the worst president by over $5 trillion than any other president, put us more in debt. Remember what I said, more than $5 trillion more than any other president that ever was president. $5 million more, not million, trillion, that's with a tree, T. That's $5 trillion more than any other president, more in debt. This president, Obama, has put the United States in debt by more, almost $6 trillion, by almost $6 trillion more than any other president that served. And it's been that way ever since, not that much, but it's been that way ever since FDR and before. I went to FDR because he's known as the worst president ever, but he had a reason, because it was World War II involved. But, because he almost 10 times our deficit, but that was only in the billions. That wasn't in the trillions yet. It wasn't until Ronald Reagan was president that took over $970 billion in deficit. That's how far we were then. And Ronald Reagan, right when Ronald Reagan took office, he took a deficit of $970 billion. So it's almost a trillion, but not quite. Still had 30 more billion, but by the time he left, by the time Ronald Reagan left, the United States was 2.6 trillion. Now, that's almost tripling it. $2.6 trillion in debt. And since FDR and before, I just use FDR because he's known as the worst president ever on economy, but he had World War II involved, so he had a reason. Okay, it's from FDR, which is 1930 something, 33 I think. But from FDR on till now, we've always been more and more and more and more in debt. And the last three presidents has been the worst. The last three presidents, we went more in debt ever since FDR and before, and it continues on the same path. We almost double our deficit almost every time our president gets in. And Obama did double our, he went in at $10 trillion. That's what Obama took over. We are now at almost $20 trillion, and it's going to be $21 trillion by the time Obama gets out. So he is the worst president on record by over $5 trillion, almost $6 trillion. But I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. $5 trillion by any other president, more. $5 trillion than any other president has ever served. He put us more than $5 trillion more in debt in his term. End of discussion. and today is 7/13/2016. And that's my point. And if someone out there is saying, "Oh, Bill Clinton was he stabilized our economy," I don't think so. The first Bush, not the second one, because he almost put us in 5 trillion, almost more in debt. It was 4 point something trillion. He put us more in debt. The second Bush, the first Bush left office. He put us 1.4 trillion more in debt. The first Bush. Now, when Clinton took over, we were at the end of his term, we were 0.6 trillion. So they're almost the same. But still, Bush was better. The first Bush was definitely better than Clinton. There's no doubt about that. It's our record by $0.2 trillion. He's better. Bush was better by $0.2 trillion. That's how much better that he did the economy than Clinton. Why isn't he known as the person who stabilized our economy? Because he cut it way back too. He cut it better than Clinton did. 0.2 trillion, which was a lot. I mean, that's still a lot. Now, we don't want Clinton in there. Just don't even take my word for it. Go on YouTube, try to find something that Hillary Clinton did. Try to find it. I hope you find it. Put it in my comments and down below. I want to know what this is. What Hillary Clinton did. What did she do? What has she done that did not hurt America? Even if she just stabilized something. Like the health. I know it wasn't a health thing. It had nothing to do with that health plan because she tried to write one. It was like 3,000 pages long, and the Congress read it. 1, 2 pages. We're done with this. This will never work. It's funny. It's funny, man. I cannot believe that Hillary got the votes she got. It's not funny. I mean, it's not even funny. Just one thing. That's what this video is about. All I want to know. That's all I want to know. What did Hillary Clinton do? She was in the government for a very long time. When Bill served as governor in Arkansas, whatever it was, 8 years. And when Bill was president, she was first lady, 8 years. So she lived in the White House. So she had a chance. She didn't just lay around in the White House. She was helping Bill, and Bill appointed her to do certain things. So, what did she do? That's all I want to know. I want to know, one thing that Hillary Clinton ever touched or did that really benefited America. That's all I want to know. And no one, and I'm around a lot of people, but they're Hillary people. Everyone I've asked, they've always said, about Bill, stabilizing the economy, which he didn't. He didn't. Just go back. Just go to a government website. I forget what site it was, but I got it. It's on one of my videos, so check out all my videos and check it out. I got it listed as what it is. It's deficit by president. The deficit by president term, when they get in and when they go out. I got it. I got the listing. I post it all the time on YouTube. And also I got a video of it. So just look for it. Look down the list, and these are just copied off the internet. I didn't misconstrue or change anything. I copied exactly what it was because I wanted to see where America went wrong when they owed $1 trillion and who it was. And I was shocked. Because Ronald Reagan was known as the best president ever. And I was shocked when I saw that he tripled our deficit, or pretty close to it. And that was, almost $1 trillion then. Like I said, it was 970 billion, and by the time Ronald Reagan was done with office after 8 years, it was 2.6 trillion, almost $3 trillion. And I was kind of shocked because everybody liked Ronald Reagan and said, yeah, Ronald Reagan was the man, And I'm going, wait a minute. it was a total shock to me because I had no idea. I had no idea what president was that got us to $1 trillion. And when I saw when President Reagan left at 2.6 trillion, he comes in at 970 billion, and he took it to 2.6 trillion. Then he hands it over. It's crazy. I think it was handed over to Bush, first Bush. And then Bush stabilized. He stabilized the economy, but not really that good because we're still more in debt. We're more in debt. I don't call any of them presidents. It's like Donald Trump says, our United States government is stupid and don't know what they're doing, and he says why. He's telling you exactly how he's going to do things. And that's why, even before that, though, even before he said he was going to run, because he's a businessman, and the United States is a business. I don't care what anybody says. The United States is a business. And we want a businessman in there. And we want him proven that he can handle high-stress situations, which he can. He's proven to do that. And like I've already stated what he's done, and, our U.S. government, or the government in New York City, acquired the biggest ice rink ever in New York City. And they held it for 6 years. They dumped money into it, had people working for them, trying to get to run to make money on. Our U.S. government did. And then they decided to sell it, and actually Trump bought it. He did the same thing. He put money into it and had people doing it, and he ended up and running 6 months. After the government held it for 6 years and couldn't do it, he ended up and running in 6 months. That's not an isolated event either. He had a high-rise in Grand Central Station, a very, very well-traveled area. In Grand Central Station, they had a high-rise that was on the verge of being condemned and torn down. Bums would not even stay there because of the bugs and the animals that start to live there because they get out of the weather. But the bums didn't want to stay there because of that. And he bought that. It's now one of the most well-traveled high-rises in New York City. And before that, it was almost ready to be torn down. And, that's exactly what he's going to do to the United States and our government. There's a prime example. And these aren't isolated events. You don't become worth $12 billion on just a couple of isolated events like that. He's got a golf course he's working in Ireland, and he's got this bump. This guy's got a few acres of land that's right next to that, and this guy hates Donald Trump because he's got a lot of money. He didn't want his money, he says, and Donald Trump offered him more than property's worth, and he says, "No, I don't want your money." And then he goes, he lives like a bum. He has several tractors and farm equipment that are all rusted and oil all over the ground, environmental hazard. It looks like hell. So what Trump did, since he ain't gonna move, he built a hill. He built a hill. How golf courses have hills and valleys and sand traps and stuff like that. He built a hill high enough where no one can see where that guy is because of his dumpy area that he's lived all his life. Probably inherited. He's a bum. He's a bum. And so he corrected it by putting a big hill right there where he lived so no one can see him. And that's just another event that he had to do. Because you don't want pro golfers like Jack Nicklaus and many others going to that golf course to see a dump where their ball, might come close to. That's just not a good practice. It's a pro golf course. all his golf courses are top of the line, like all of his high rises and all of his casino and his jet that he flies around in. He has $35 million helicopter. You don't acquire all that stuff by being a jughead that has no idea what they're talking about or doing, which is Hillary Clinton. I call her billary because no one in their right mind would vote for Hillary. No one in their right mind would vote for Hillary. Her track record is too bad, and she's so crooked, and you can't believe anything that she says. Today is 7/13/2016.